Hey there, Leo. Um, Time for the full moon in Scorpio reading. Full moon is a pink moon this time. Whoops, that was not a very good shuffle. But it's in Scorpio. I did a little bit of reading about this pink moon. And it said that the spotlight is on vulnerabilities and secrets. And it also said that how did they word that? Oh, right. It would be about sudden realizations and like a fresh perspective. So, and that seems to be pretty consistent with the readings I've done for the signs previous to Leo. So let's see what's in store for Leo. This full moon in Scorpio. Full moon in Scorpio for Leo, please. Let's just see what flies out for this full moon in Scorpio. There's another. Full moon in Scorpio. Oh, there we go. We have it all. Ooh, and we have Empress at the bottom of the deck. You cannot have a more beautiful energy than that. She is the divine feminine. She is like Mother Earth. She's nurturing. She's creative. She's abundant. She is everything. Underneath her, we have the King of Wands. So we have some, oh my God, and then the Hierophant. So, and then the Sun. Oh my gosh, Leo. I'm a Leo, so I'm so extra happy. I don't know if this is going to be, if it's too dark or not. Did that help a little bit? If I turn this light on that's near it, it'll overshadow everything. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. And then we have to take a rest. And the Hanged Man. So a Hanged Man is be about the fresh perspective, right? I don't pay any attention to reversals. I think Spirit's pretty well aware of that. So if there's so many cards, there's really no reason. If instead of like a moving, like Victory or the Chariot card would be victory or movement in reverse, it could mean you're stuck or it's going backwards. They would just give me a card that says you're stuck, which is one of the swords. So that's what I think. Speaking of stuck. And let's see what else we have. Before I get too involved with these cards, we just have a ton of major arcana. Before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and pull from the energy oracle cards just to get the overall. What is the overall gist of this reading for Leo, please, Spirit, for the full moon in Scorpio? Full pink moon in Scorpio for Leo. What is the overall theme or the overall message of this reading? The overall theme of this reading. Okay, 4 cards come out at one time. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Yeah, I guess I'll take, because there's action, which is the same as the Chariot, yin yang, which is balance, and that could be like the Lovers or the Two of Pentacles. It's about, or it could also be about justice and temperance. Sorry, I had to pause you while I cleared my throat. And then we have the Thinking Woman and Anxiety. I'm just going to put that right up there with those. Figure out what these are all about. Wow, major arcana though, right? And this is huge. The High Priestess, there's always, this card shows up when it's a reminder that you're supposed to trust what's happening. Trust that Spirit's working. You might not be seeing evidence of the seeds that you planted. You might not be seeing anything. Maybe you're working really hard and not feeling very appreciated. Or you're making plans, but they don't seem to be going anywhere. But Spirit is working. It's just not quite in the physical form yet. And then the owl, too, excuse me, is about also intuition and wisdom and mystery. It's also mystery. So this is why you have to just trust, because you're not supposed to know yet. I think that's the real key. You're not supposed to know quite yet, because, you know, if I don't know if people bake souffles or not still, but there was the old adage that if you're baking the souffle, you cannot open the oven to look at it, because that will collapse it. And it should be a big, puffy, beautiful thing. So you really have to just leave it in there until it's completely done, till the timer goes off. And especially back in the days where you didn't have the window in the oven, you really had to just let it sit in there, not knowing how it was doing, until the ding happened and it was time to open the oven and take it out. That's kind of this energy. It's like you have to just trust that everything you have done, every ingredient you put into the mix, the way you line the dish, the trust that the oven is even, and you've put it in there for exactly the right amount of time, it will come out a perfect souffle. This is the energy to trust. Sorry, that's my cornball analogy, but Empress at the bottom. To me, this just says we really have everything. This is everything. I mean, she's just amazing. So this is the Shadowscapes tarot deck. And I'm going to consult the book to make sure I don't forget anything. This Five of Swords, again, I don't pay any attention to the order that we're in either, because I feel like time is not necessarily, or energy is not linear. It's really fluid. I mean, it kind of goes back and forth. So, but I feel like this is the overall feeling. This is the core of our reading, along with these. And because so many came out, that tells a separate story. I'm looking at the thinking woman and the anxiety, thinking that we need to get out of our head, and that maybe that's what is disruptive. Maybe that is the secret. Maybe our secret is the vulnerability. Maybe because we don't like to be vulnerable, right? It's good to be vulnerable, but nobody wants to appear vulnerable. So the thinking woman and the anxiety, I feel like that goes with this Five of Swords. Yeah, and this yin yang definitely would go with the Lovers, because that's about the balance, right? In action, we have two Knights. Knights are all about movement. There's a deck that even calls the Knight a movement. That's what they don't use the term Knight. They use the term the movement of Pentacles, the movement of Wands. Yeah, what I'll do, I think, I just keep scanning everything to see if there's something threading these together, because I feel like there needs to be an action or something to get us out of this energy and able to embrace and harness this energy. I think this is the key. I think this is the learning to trust is the key. So I'm going to look up action, the action card from the Energy Oracle, and I will show you the card. Here you go. Sorry about the reflection. I do not have a high-tech setup here. It's my phone near a window in my house. This is about energizing effort, willingness to work. This card tells you that now is the time for a more aggressive forward movement. The galloping horses represent intentional and concerted action directed to your goals. You're on the right track, but your determined efforts must increase. Boy, that's true for me. The white horse is inner action of spirit and thought. The black is the outer work that still needs to be done. Isla, don't mess up the cards, honey. So continue taking action and trust your intuition. In time, you'll break through and see the results you've been working so hard to create. Okay, here's my cat, and she's in the way. But yes, isn't she cute? She thinks so too. There you go. And that one sounds, because you've got the black and white, so there's like the balance in terms of point, counterpoint, every action, there's a reaction, so it's a harmony. Yin Yang, I believe, speaks to the same thing. Yin Yang is passive and active, which is what this one was, right? Inner and outer active. So inner action really feels more passive. And intuitive and logical. So it's the energetic life cycle. Its purpose is to help you identify the particular cyclical energy moving into or out of your experience. It's a time of great receptivity, intuition, and gestation, which is about this, right? This is about trusting that gestation is happening. Excuse me. Go within. External circumstances may be forcing you to go within and examine present activity. It's an especially good time for completion, so wrap things up. Yin cycles often call to you to be passive, yielding, and reflective, so be open to these sides of your nature. Being more than acting is the intention here. Nice. So together, and since I've already been referring to this High Priestess, like I've said before, every deck has their own twist on the meaning of some of the tarot characters, and this deck is no exception. See, it gives a whole long story and all that, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to make sure that I didn't overlook telling you anything. Wisdom, knowledge, learning, intuition, purity, virtue. The High Priestess lifts her arms out, and in that gesture her very body becomes a living symbol of a chalice. The owl is the keeper of knowledge. I did say wisdom here. And he bears a key to unlock mysteries, and I did tell you it was about a mystery card. The pomegranate is an icon of Persephone, who tasted the seeds and thus tied herself to Hades. It is a fruit of fertility and death. The moon embroidered upon her garments wax and wane, the new crescent and gibbous moons that create the full cycle embraced in one. So I do feel like this is things happening, just not quite visible yet. And I think this is a card, I think in this case, it's about us having to trust. And then we have the Lovers. Which is about balance, which we have both here. Union, balance, energy flow. It is love, desire. It could be marriage, could be it could be any kind of union. Partnership, any kind of connection like that. Yeah, it's just the melding of heart and mind. It is a union. And again, harmony or balance. Because there's movement here, which I like to think of as harmony. So both of those speak to kind of some kind of balance. Let's take a look at the thinking woman and then anxiety. So I feel like they might be telling us something. Oh, I forgot. The thinking woman is about wisdom and understanding. She's ready to lead you to a higher understanding. This could be a friend who helps you express and understand your feelings, or she could be a teacher, a mentor. This is a wise woman. It could be a love interest even. She's thoughtful, conscious, and aware. I think she's sort of like the, maybe the Queen of Swords or the Queen of Air, because she's wise, she's generous with her wisdom, she's a great mentor, she's a good leader. It says that this card could represent a side of yourself that's ready to blossom and bring clarity and assistance to the world. And it is about, I think, mental clarity. In this instance, I feel like it's about clarity. And then we have the anxiety. So worry or distress. I feel like this is overwhelm for some of us. And we're getting spun up about something, and I don't know why. Which is also about the Five of Swords. The woman on this card is filled with anxiety, worrying about something that causes her a great deal of discomfort. Receiving this card upright may indicate that you're experiencing a time of increasing stress, or perhaps even a situation that you find yourself brooding about much of the time. And it says, however, if you'll notice the scene outside the window, God, this is the same as the 5. The storm is distant and perhaps even moving away. So whatever's going on, this card is telling you to release the worry and let yourself relax. Brooding and fretting will never solve things, so trust in yourself and your process. When you live with a relaxed heart and mind, you're far more likely to receive the solutions that you seek. So true, because worrying never changes the outcome, right? It just simply doesn't. And this 5 of Swords, 5s are usually an indication of some type of change is called for, or there's an invitation to some type of change. And with this 5, you can see this is about conflict of some sort, which is what that was talking about too. And it really isn't that big of a deal. It's like if we shift our focus, then everything shifts. So I think this is about an invitation to look at a fresh perspective. Yeah, it's just conflict, discord. I see frustration in this card too. And I feel like something's stagnant. But like her, she's got the storm in the background. And this has got the light coming through. So if they just turn around and go towards the light, not in the dying way, but moving out of the storm, out of the heaviness, out of the dark clouds, things are going to get easier. Or at least their perception of it will change. I do think that this is about trusting. Now, we haven't even dealt with the Knights yet. Haven't even looked at them. First is the Knight of Swords. he can be a little... These are really beautiful cards, but there's a lot of really teeny tiny little detail in them. So I like to kind of study them every time I see it, because I always pick up on something new. He's a little bit headstrong, this guy. He's like the swashbuckling hero. He charges toward whatever it is to protect, you know, guns a-blazing and swords flailing and all of that. He's pretty blunt. It's kind of, he's direct, I guess is a good way of saying it. He's very direct. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He says what's on his mind. He might be brash at times. He might be lacking a little tact, but he's really loyal, and he does not let anything come between him and his purpose. So he's really, really driven. Excuse me. So I think this is the call to stay focused, right? But I think more cards come out because you don't want the brashness. You don't want the pig-headedness. You want to stay focused and keep the momentum. And this one is pick up the speed and keep moving. Oops. And I feel like both of these, because these three cards are all about movement. And the Knight of Wands, excuse me, I love these lion antelope sort of creatures that they come up with. This is progression. This is like movement towards your goal. And this is, Wands is fire in the belly. It's passion. It's desire. Can be sexual, doesn't have to be. It's usually more about creative, a goal-oriented thing. This is something that you really, 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 really feel strongly about and you really want to do. And you're really excited. This is like you're all fired up to do this, whatever it is, head towards your goal. So I think this is about the emotional, not emotional, fire in the belly. This is the ignition, right? It's really excited to move forward. This is the guy that's going to keep you going because he doesn't let anything stand between him and his goal. He might burn out a little bit. This fire energy. This is like, you know, when brand new love happens, sometimes it explodes and then disappears. So that's this kind of energy. I mean, he might be more, I don't want to say temporary energy, but I think that once the excitement burns off or wanes a little bit, rather than walking away from it at that point because it's not as exciting, this energy says keep going. Yeah, the honeymoon's over, but it's still a great ride. Your goal is still really worth getting to. The initial start, you might have just overdone a little bit. It's like when you start working out. You work out with like gangbusters, and then you get sore and you take a week off, and pretty soon, 2 months later, you're still not working out. So this is the keep going and working out, and maybe don't start with as much of this energy. Maybe do a regular workout instead of trying to make up for the whole year of COVID couch, get back to the gym or whatever routine you had and start slowly and then ramp it up. Ramp it up so that you don't hurt yourself and burn out. I feel like that's what these two are doing together. Because this is about the action and the balance. This is nice, Leo. Like I said, I'm Leo. I'm happy about this. Um, we just have to quit doing the woe is me stuff. And sometimes we do get busy. And I know a lot of a lot of Leos are creative. And those of us that have that part to our personalities, we can juggle a lot of balls in the air for a while because we're quite capable. But then, typical for many creatives, we need to go and be quiet. And with the Leo, you need to go into your den, lick your wounds, take your winter nap, and then come out strong and healed. I feel like that's what this is. We're just in that. The whole world has been dealing with a lot of weird stuff. There's some energy, and it doesn't have to be your busyness. It could just be the energetic stuff in the world. There's been a lot of violence that has, kind of unprecedented, and along with the pandemic, and then there's everything, right? It's touched on every level, globally. So sometimes we just, I can't watch the news. I have been because I feel like it's my duty, but I haven't in the past. This year, I felt like I've had to. I feel responsible. I have to know what's going on because of the current climate. But I'm going to tell you about this Empress card, because that's really the energy we are headed towards, the one that we want to embrace. She is the divine feminine. And I just always think of this as Mother Earth, right? So she's creative. She's generous. She's patient. She's loving. She's super nurturing. Because Mother Nature, right? Nothing grows. So she is the warmth of the sun. She is the rains that clean and quench, right? She's all of those things. So she's about abundance, experiencing the senses and embracing the natural. She is a creator. She is the mother, fertile and nurturing. Clasped to her body like a child, she holds a basket of earth's bounty, fruits and sheaves of wheat and glorious flowers. She's the primal essence and embodiment of life and is deeply tied to nature. Crowned in ivy, she's clasped in garments of the colors of the world around her. So here she is. This is what is at the base of the deck. And King of Wands. Again, Wands is about the passion. He's a reliable leader, passionate. And then the Hierophant. This is the spiritual card, so we cannot lose touch with our spiritual practice, whatever that might be. This is always an invitation to at least be aware of your spirituality. Be aware that things are bigger than the physical world. Be aware that things are larger than, things go beyond what you can visually see in the physical frame, which is also about this, trusting things are happening for your benefit behind the scenes. And the sun, this kind of goes with the Empress, because this is all about warmth and expansion and growth. Nothing grows without the sun. Okay, well, moss, but that's rare. Most things grow with the help of the sun. It warms us, it gives us light, it nourishes us. Sun is also about creativity and just expansion. The Knight of Pentacles, this is, another knight, a lot of movement, right? But this is in the money form, in the physical manifestation. I don't think we need to go beyond that, but if you wanted to, the Six of Swords is just, is about exhaustion. Just too exhausted. Hangman below that is a fresh perspective, or looking at things differently. So let's start with that, because that's what this whole moon is about. And so maybe the Six of Pentacles, or sorry, the Six of Swords. You're exhausted, so you need to take a break, but you trust. You curl up on this large swan, goose creature, whatever it is, and you just know that they're going to take you where you need to go. When you get there, and that's through this energy, right? It's just trusting in this one, trusting that when you get there, all of this awaits. Voila. Empress energy. Boy, this is amazing. But what we have to do is get out of our heads, stop blocking, or get out of our own way, right? I say us because, again, I'm a Leo. I'm actually a double Leo. I'm a Leo rising and a Leo sun. All right, we were going to take a look and see. I'm not purposely making this deck or this reading longer than everybody else's, but just so much came out. Spirit, I'm asking for a little clarification, please, for Leo, for the full moon in Scorpio reading. Pink moon. Full moon, full pink moon in Scorpio. Do we have any clarification? I'll give it 2 more passes. If nothing jumps out, I'm going to just... I feel like we're pretty clear anyway. Is there anything you want to clarify? Yep, something flipped over, so we'll take a look at that. 4 of Swords. 4 is usually a pause, right? And what was this before we had of... Oh, that was the 6. 4 is a pause. Fours are usually, yeah, a pause, and I just feel like this is about exhaustion again. It's hard to see what this little image is. It looks like a cat curled up taking a nap. And it feels like that's what you're being called to do. Because I think without the proper rest, I think it's a reset. And that's from the Naked Heart Tarot. I'm just feeling reset. So getting out of the anxiety, getting out of your own way. Yeah, it's rest, stillness, and reflection. So this is how you're going to get that change in perspective. Let's see if there's anything else. That just kind of affirms all that other stuff. Is there anything else that wants to come forward? Okay, a couple cards jumped out. Ooh, 3. Oh, God, that's nice. And we have the Spirit of Swords. Spirit is the king. King of Swords. He's wise, clear thinking, cuts through all the bull, gets down to the truth. He's a truth seeker. Then we also have the Spirit of Wands. Wow, 2 kings, and then the Magician. So you have everything you need to have the life you want. Spirit of Wands. This is the same as the what came out at the bottom here. King of Wands. So that same kind of energy. I think it went like that. And then these 7 of Pentacles, there's this is about nurturing. This is a similar but not as powerful energy as the Empress. It's not divine, of course. So it's like what you see above, so happens below. This is about nurturing. So 7 of Pentacles, you want to, like, this is all taking care of your stuff. There's another deck that shows a man who's gardening or taking care of a plant. So you want to make sure that those roots are really well cared for, well fertilized. You've got good, rich soil, the kind whatever that plant needs, and you're watering it to its needs. You're taking care of it so that these roots are strong and you make sure that everything around it is fertile so that you get the best possible results in the growth above. Seven of Wands. This always looks like it should be a hockey team sort of mascot. Doesn't it kind of look like something? And I'm not a sports person, but I always see this. It looks like it, and the sticks just look like it should be about hockey. I don't know. It is not about hockey, though. It is about self-worth and courage, finding your inner strength, knowing your own boundaries, respecting yourself. And I think that came up with all of this other stuff. We need to get out of our own way. So I think it's, again, a call for introspection. And the Sun, we already talked about that, but this is the final card out. So this is what awaits. Get out of our way. Get out of our own way. So that the Sun can nurture us into our best potential situations. I'm just going to ask Spirit for a final piece of advice. Whoops, that card was upside down. Sorry about that. Give it one more shuffle. And see, Spirit, is there... Oh, there we go. This is for the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards. And we have anger. Ooh, maybe that's what the anxiety is about. I love this. It's like secret codes and messages and puzzles you're putting together. Anger is based in fear. Fear of loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to address the real fear that has triggered it. Anger doesn't go away without addressing an underlying fear. Alternately, be aware of someone's anger directed towards you. I feel like that's in this whole anxiety thing. And that whole call for introspection, right? Conflict, because this was about conflict, which easily could be anger. So we had the Hierophant underneath that, which is again, a call to be introspective, quiet, going within. And this one talked about going within and physical action as well. We are just, I think this is all about just bringing your whole life into balance in a really big and beautiful way. All this major arcana, Leo, this is just, I think it's a really powerful reading. And I feel like this is really, really, I feel like it's happening really quickly. You've got all these knights. I mean, this one's a little bit slower, but he's fast. These guys are fast. You're really nurtured. I mean, everything else, everything's moving. Spirit, can I get a final blessing, please, for Leo for this full moon in Scorpio? Final blessing for Leo, please, for this pink moon in Scorpio. Thank you. Awakening Genius. I'm not sure I even need to read anything else. That's it, Leo. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. This is going to be on your tag, Awakening Genius. I love it. I love it because that is all of this energy. Here's the result if we do the work. So I will see you next time. I usually do new and full moon. Sometimes I do pick a card in between when I'm called to do so. Give me a like, subscribe, share. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.